Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last. Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Can you feel the flow of the sangre? Can you hear the cry of the inganga?
I can't actually.
Turn up the volume.
Oh yes.
Stop filling me with all these gross things.
Oh wow, that is the cry of the inganga.
It's me. Hey, honestly, totally cool to help you with your request. Totally cool to help the Prenda and Kisi kind of guide your ways.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I fixed that parking ticket for
we
you.
have another load of cum coming in.
Oh, I just wish.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you, inganga.
Honestly, thank you. But again, if we could just stop with the human bloods getting muy caliente in here.
Yeah.
And to be completely frank, I wish that we could go back to skipping you ahead on the upgrade list for Delta.
Oh,
these are the
that was
kind of
nice
tasks.
when you did that for me. Thank you, inganga.
Because I'll wait on the whole. I'll wait on the whole line,
Yeah.
and I'll call all the representatives.
Another load of cum coming in. Yeah. Sorry.
You gotta drink some water or something, sir, Polero. I just needed to get some
hold
pineapple.
on a second. Here comes the squirt. Welcome to the last podcast on the left, everyone. I am Ben Kissel with Henry Zabrowski and, of course, Marcus Parks. Can we call this episode Here Comes the Squirt?
You can't claim the title before the episode begins.
All right.
It has to be. How are titles chosen?
How do you choose the title?
Usually I choose a title through something that I think gives you a general atmosphere for the episode, but
so it
also
won't
tells
be-
people, hey, this is going to be a good time. Hey, come on.
It won't be Here
Unfortunately,
Comes the Squirt, then.
Here Comes the Squirt might actually be a very accurate title for this episode because we are about to go from magic to tragic. Hell yeah! Work it, girl.
Working it indeed.
Yes.
11 years of recording it. And wow, that is pinnacle stuff.
I fucking I retired.
Great.
But this is a very intense episode.
I am so excited. We're going to get on to part 2 of Adolfo Constanzo.
So when we last left Adolfo Constanzo, his client base was expanding beyond Zona Rosa locals and D-list Mexican celebrities into the world of drug traffickers, who were quickly becoming his main source of income. Cartels and small-time drug dealers paid Adolfo Constanzo top dollar for magical rituals related to their trade, with one trafficker in particular paying Constanzo $40,000 over 3 years just for magical protection.
I want to do a little bit of clarification up top. I get some great responses that were or practicing padrinos / tatas of Palo Mayombe that wanted to help me clarify some shit that we talked about last episode. And one thing that seems to really come across is that whatever Adolfo Constanzo was trained in, it was some form of serial killer's light version of Palo Mayombe, where he was hooked up with a padrino at a young age that essentially defied all things that are sacred about Palo Mayombe and gave them to him in kind of a unofficial, I want to say just a real life hack This is a shout out to Brooke Van Poppelen. If Brooke Van Poppelen on her show
True
Life Hack,
TV,
yes,
yeah.
on True TV, you remember that network? They would tell you how the quick way to do palo mayombe.
Life hack, yeah.
Yeah, which is not necessarily great.
You know, the only life hack that I've ever remembered is if you cut a potato in half and you put it into the light bulb, you can...
That shit does not fucking work.
Well, it does.
Potatoes are too hard.
I've never used it. I've never tried. I think you microwave it a little bit.
This is all just
You remember the commercial, the life hack with the potato. Everyone remembers that.
I don't remember the
Mayombe.
commercial. Palo
Okay.
Mayombe, thank you, Marcus. But so one big thing is that in Palo Mayombe, you cannot be a member of the LGBT community and be involved as a padrino or a tata in Palo Mayombe.
Can't be a tata. Huh?
No, you can't be a tata. You could be a tito, but that's outside of the religion. I don't even know what that means.
No kidding.
That's not the only discrepancy. Obviously, the human sacrifice is a big no-no. Everybody gets upset because the human sacrifice is a massive, a flagrant insult to the sacredness and the sanctity of Palo Mayombe.
Okay.
And then also, it just seems like he had like a hodgepodge of learning about Palo Mayombe and mixed a bunch of shit together. Because the other one that was really strange was the fact that he initiated those two dudes, Oscar and Martin, like fucking immediately, which doesn't really happen. Most people don't become a padrino or a tata until like 10 years after deep into, and then like you have to be ready, spiritually ready to build an nganga.
So you're telling me that someone who is named the Spanish version of Adolf didn't play by the rules necessarily?
You're calling him a maverick?
I'm calling him indeed a maverick. A maverick with deadly intentions, perhaps.
Well, as we'll see again and again with Adolfo Constanzo, he'll just make people padrinos because for him, this is all about power. This is all about control. And it's all about murder. It all comes back to that. And so whatever gives him more power and whatever allows him to murder more and more easily, that's what he's going to do. And that's who he's going to bring in.
It's like when Oprah gave away all those cars. It's loyal listeners and viewers for life.
You know what? Yes.
It kind of is.
But also, we're going to see in this episode, now he's switching. He used to be really intent on showing people that he's a genuine wizard. And he was a, all-powerful, all-seeing padrino. But as soon as he gets a taste of that money, because he becomes addicted to the money. In this episode, you're going to... Because I get it, man. I love fur coats, I guess.
You fell asleep with your wallet, as a matter of fact. Henry was a little late getting here. Apparently, the wallet was in bed with you. Do you cuddle it at night?
Yeah, it's at night just like I dream about tax demarcations and I think about my Amex points.
Yeah, nice.
And the man who would usher Constanzo into the drug trafficking world as an actual player was Florentino Ventura Gutierrez, who was then the director of the Mexican branch of Interpol, in addition to being one of the most powerful lawmen in Mexico.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
Adolfo Constanzo was hobnobbing with top officials. He was not a small-time player.
Well, he somehow, that's where it's like the magic comes in, right? Where it's like at some point, he went straight to the fucking boss of the corrupt cops.
Rasputin-esque, perhaps.
Yes.
It's all about confidence. But Florentino, like many law enforcement officials in Mexico, was corrupt. And he paid Constanzo thousands of dollars over the years for cleansings, predictions about the future, and protection against enemies on both sides of the law.
Are we talking like coffee bean colonics here? What do you mean cleansing?
Olympia.
The Olympia.
Or Olympia.
He hits you with the stick. You get the stick. You get cut. You get into you go put in his little room, his room of death. They put a blindfold on you. They spit rum all over you, which you'd love. It
Close
sounds
your
like fun.
mouth. Close your mouth. No. I want to get the spit rum.
And that's what they give you, the cleanse.
Oh, okay.
Well, through Ventura, Constanzo met Salvador Alarcón, a subcommandant federale who worked the border between Brownsville in Texas and Matamoros in Mexico. Matamoros being where Constanzo would commit his most heinous crimes later on.
As soon as he saw that Matamoros connection, he knew, he's like, because that's where the big drug money was. It was because now he's been kind of rolling little dealers. And it's really strange. It happened very fast. He went from being a fortune teller in a strip mall deep in the Mexico City to immediately robbing drug dealers, which is a big jump.
That is a big jump.
And they say that the part of the connection is there has been a secularization of Palo Mayombe that goes into this Santa Muerte thing, right? Whatever the Santa Muerte religion is highly secular. They really view it as like, I put money in, I get money out. Like, this is a tool. And what they kind of have done with whatever Adolfo Constanzo's Padrino was, it shows this line of thought where he knew immediately it was always kind of half a scam. It was always about money. And Santa Muerte to them was just a practical use of ancient magic to get shit over on cops and other drug dealers.
Well, look at what happens with sneakers. Aren't they all the same? It's magical thinking that makes them different.
No, there's different designs and fits.
Indeed, yes, but they're really quite similar. They all go on your feet.
I have a summer lighter shoe. I got my heavier winter shoes. I got the dynamic colors, and I got black colors, so I don't have to wear only black. So you know there's all difference. And then some things are just fun. It's just a fun shoe because it's got a spooky ghost on it. I bought a shoes with ghosts on it the other day.
All right.
You started this.
You are continuing it. Let's get back to the blood.
Please. Now, according to reports, Constanzo's contact Salvador looked like your stereotypical bad motherfucker. He'd been cut down the middle of his face with a knife years before, but instead of dying, he now had scars that made it appear as if he had 3 different faces.
Dude, this whole episode is like a fucking Tarantino movie.
I love it.
And even before Constanzo came on the scene, Salvador was already witchy, believing that each of his 3 quote-unquote faces were possessed by a different spirit. One, he believed was a Sioux warrior. Another was a murderer from Cuba. And the third was an African witch.
That must have been a really interesting fight to have at dinner. Just with all 3 of those
How do you
strong
order?
Personalities.
Yeah. How do you get everybody on the same page? It does sound like
I want spaghetti. I want gumbo. Oh my God.
I want human blood. It sounds like the waiting room in Beetlejuice.
Oh, it really does.
And supposedly, upon meeting Salvador, Constanzo recognized all 3 spirits immediately. And once he named each spirit, Salvador was sold. This is my new guy.
All right.
And seeing his value, Constanzo quickly initiated Salvador as a palero and carved the symbols of Siete Rayos, one of the Palomayombe gods, into Salvador's shoulder.
Oh.
Adolfo Constanzo's main deity he worshipped was Carimpembe, which is the version of the devil in Palomayombe. So he's kind of like Richard Ramirez, where there are if he didn't brutally murder and torture so many people, you could almost call him like a poser in Palomayombe, where he's very much into the AC/DC of Palomayombe, going into all of this shit, talking about the devil and darkness, because most of the other Tatas I was speaking to, they talk a lot about balance, where his whole thing was like, you will give up your soul. You will give in to Carimpembe. You will be an empty vessel for my vile vortices.
What if I just don't?
Well, Man,
I gotta go.
you ruined my Saturday, dude.
Interesting.
So after the initiation, Salvador became Constanzo's man on the inside when it came to both law enforcement and drug traffickers. And Constanzo's reputation as a man who could ensure successful drug deliveries only grew.
But this shows what Constanzo was really good at was reading people.
Yeah.
And he was really good at being a fortune teller in terms of like, he could read you, he could tell you all your shit. When he saw the guy with the scar with the 3 window panes.
But it is easier to read somebody with massive scars and just be like, it's been rough? It's been rough for you.
Exactly.
If like someone is just like pretty normal and you don't know they're really into gaping BDSM.
Yes.
That's tough.
That's a flip.
Yeah.
That's a boom, flip it moment. But this guy,
boom, flip it.
he was really good at fortune telling. But he wasn't
He was
really
a good
wizard.
con man.
He was a really good con
That's what a fortune teller is, a con man.
Yeah, but when
Sometimes they have 3 nipples, like in Mallrats. Remember that when she ate the nipple?
Yes.
Was that Mallrats? I think so. Anyway,
That was Mallrats, yeah.
But then he immediately knew, I don't really know. And I know that if I'm fucking with drug dealers, I have to provide results.
Yeah.
So what he understood,
Jeez, I wouldn't do it.
He had this new group of he had this burgeoning cult all staring at him. And the first thing he says, he's like, well, now we got a man on the inside so I can really tell these drug dealers what's going on. And they're all like, what about all the magic? And he's like, this helps the magic.
It definitely does. Scary business.
Well, Constanzo would bless a shipment, and the more loads that went over the border without incident, the more Constanzo's reputation was solidified, and the bolder Constanzo got with the claims about what he could do.
Just cut to the border agent taking out his pocket knife, poking into the load. Just be like, come. Yep. Yes, indeed. It's more Mexican cum. They're sending it across the border to impregnate our children.
You started this
I
episode
did.
with cum.
I'm sorry. It's been a long week.
And since traffickers were weighing losses of millions of dollars for a seized shipment of cocaine versus Constanzo's relatively smaller fee, Constanzo started charging the big bucks for his services. However, the more shipments Constanzo was able to get through, the more he started to think that a much larger piece of that drug pie should belong to him.
Sure.
So he asked Salvador to introduce him to potential partners.
And this shows his real power, because I don't know if you've ever met a drug dealer, but they don't, normally, they're not super into the question of, where you get this shit from?
Where are you getting it from? Yeah, they don't like that.
What's the name of the guy that you get this from? Where do you get it?
Stu or Stan?
What's his name? Druggy Dave? Or
Drug Dave?
Druggy Steve?
Yeah.
Speaking to the flower. Speaking to my enormous. Isn't it? Look at that. It's plastic.
Yeah, that's what happens when your last words on this earth will be muffled by a heavy bag.
Me and the cops all in the van outside just listen. Should we go now? Should we go now? Yeah, it sounds like he must be in the bathroom or something. That's what he's grunting.
Pretty soon, Constanzo was introduced to the Calzada family. The Calzadas had originally been in the fire extinguisher business, but when they reached the profit ceiling on that, they found that hiding cocaine in their products was a perfect cover to get drugs over the border.
Fucking Shark Tank.
Were they part of the fire department? What do you mean the fire extinguisher business?
They sell fire extinguishers.
Someone has to make fire extinguishers.
They just sold one thing?
Yeah.
How many fires?
It's not like the My Pillow guy only sells pillows. You're not yelling about him.
No, he sells mattress tops. To be fair.
He was forced to do that by the market.
Yes. Okay. All right. They're in the fire extinguisher business. I get it.
Now, even though Guillermo Calzada, the head of the family, was a hard and suspicious man, Constanzo was still able to gain his trust because Constanzo, the consummate con man, was usually able to persuade almost anyone of almost anything.
Yeah, man, you got to come up from under, especially with the drug dealer. You have to come up and say, I understand this is a complicated business.
Tough
and
times,
a complicated business needs complicated runes. I have so many different runes that are going to tell you where all the weeds going to go, and I tell you what, a lot of it's going to end up in a joint.
Hear me out. People have been doing cocaine through their nose for a long time. What about up the butt cocaine? What if we flip it? Boom, flip it.
Listen, all we got to do is make a big enough pile of it, and
people sit on it.
We made it make pants illegal.
Well, Adolfo very confidently offered to become Calzada's magic guy, saying that he'd perform cleansings and protections while also determining when and where large shipments of cocaine were to change hands, which was a highly dangerous game to play. But he played it well.
Okay.
I mean, it could be that Constanzo was preternaturally gifted at the drug game, or it could be that old Three-Face was the real brains behind the operation, considering his connections both to law enforcement and the underworld.
What it seemed to be is that he'd get information from Three-Face, and then he would go, and to confirm it, he would do a ritual where he'd throw the bones, he'd do all this kind of stuff, and he'd be like, yep, the line is blue.
Okay.
But regardless of the source of Constanzo's information, he was right again and again. The shipments were getting through and the Calzada family was thriving. But unbeknownst to them, Constanzo was also paying attention and absorbing everything he could about the drug trafficking business.
Yeah, because the guy used him as a confidant. So we told him all the inner workings of how the business goes, and he did do the thing, because eventually Constanzo, because it's not about, you can't ask it like, where do you get this from? You have to go, in your all-consuming wisdom, tell me, how does the sangre flow? But you have to sell it.
Cool. I'll tell you anything you want to know if you ask it like that.
Well, after establishing his reputation with the Calzadas, Constanzo got a little too overconfident and demanded a 50-50 split of the Calzada drug empire in exchange for further magical protection. And to this, the senior Calzada emphatically said no. And naturally, Constanzo, not used to hearing no, flew off the fucking handle and started yelling that Calzada had to accept his offer, that he had no choice. To which Calzada said, "Get the fuck out of my office."
The way they described it was like a temper tantrum. As he was just like, "You cannot do this to me. I am a wizard. I am the strongest man in the world. I did not get a single bit of ketchup or beans on these clothes today. You know how difficult that is?" And then finally, Calzada looks at him and is like, "Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'll kill you." And Constanzo, according to his diaries, because a lot of information we have come from his magic diaries. One thing that good padrinos do, and any good magical practitioners, keep extensive diaries where you talk about your rituals and how they all came out.
I mean, I would avoid mentioning all the crimes.
Oh, and it was thorough in there.
Yeah.
But he basically said it reminded him when he was rejected as a boy for being different, for being tall and beautiful. And they all,
It's not easy.
when you're just delicate and they all, I guess they tortured him or something, and he reverted, and he didn't like that.
He didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, this failure was terribly humiliating to Constanzo, and in response, he became more ruthless, more violent towards his followers, and more concerned with the acquisition of wealth, cars, jewels, and especially white suits.
He's like Jay Leno.
Yeah, more cars. You know, I hear he's a regular guy.
Regular guy.
He sits on a couch. He comes in. He's got his car magazines. Jay Leno. He's like
a
you and
regular
me.
guy. Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home. I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You got to get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. So let's take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Hey there, everybody. Is your cell phone bill too much money? Are you getting that bill and you're like, hey, what is this? I can't believe for what? For 5G? Are you crazy right now? $100? I don't even barely got any bars when I'm just sitting in my living room, okay? You don't have to deal with that anymore. Are you ready for this? $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month on Mint Mobile. Yeah, baby. Get their wireless plan, because they're just sitting there on the T-Mobile 5G network, and it's just $15. Your whole life, you're just paying all this money every month. You're like, why? Where's it going? It's going to these phone companies that are robbing you. So go to Mint Mobile. Let them help you talk to your mom. So get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when the network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabytes hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Constanzo also began buying houses and apartments all over Mexico City with the assistance of cult member and real estate agent Francisco. And Constanzo bought fancy cars that he'd used to reward followers who'd pleased him. Now, most of that was paid for by magic. But as the greed increased, this cult, who remember, this cult was not made up of criminals at all in the beginning. They began to focus more and more on straight up drug trafficking.
They just became a merch company.
Right.
All of a sudden they realized, because he was not getting the respect that he wanted. He wanted more magical powers, but then at some point he just switched it. And he's just like, you know what I'll take instead is money.
Yeah, all the drug money. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I mean, this is actually the way Constanzo did all this. It's fairly similar to Charles Manson, where the early followers of Adolfo Constanzo were not criminals in any way whatsoever. They were just people who were into magic, who were into fortune telling, that he seduced.
He was fucking most of them.
He was fucking most. Yeah, he seduced them both spiritually and physically. And before they knew it, they were doing whatever the fuck he wanted.
Would you say of all the cults we've covered, this is more of a mini cult versus like a full-on big old cult, would you say that this was the most consensual sex had within a cult in a while?
Oh, I mean, the Manson family had the most consensual sex
right.
of anybody else.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How dare I?
Yeah.
How dare I?
Definitely more than children of God.
You're
Good
right.
Lord Almighty.
That's not consensual.
Not at all.
You're right.
You did that to me.
That was 4
You guys
years
are the one who pumped it into my brain. I didn't just research that on my own.
Isn't that weird? That was 4 years ago, like this week, that we were
Jeez.
covering that story.
Well, in 1987, Constanzo and his followers posed as DEA agents and raided the office of a dentist who also happened to be a coke dealer.
Cool.
I really want to go to Mexico.
Man, fine.
That's fun.
Going up, you ever had Doctor's ass? He's fucking incredible, dude. I tell you what, though, but I ended up giving him $25,000. We're starting this like whole IPA farm, is what he called it.
Really?
Yep. It's an outside bar where you can ride a
outside
cow
bar.
to where all the IPAs are. He has over 175 IPAs on tap.
I think you got sold a wrong bill of goods there, buddy. I think it's a false bill of goods. IPAs grow in canisters in fun Portland.
We're calling it Farty Hills.
I would go to Farty Hills in a heartbeat.
Well, Constanzo and his followers beat the dentist within an inch of his life. They stole his whole cocaine stash and used the drug money to buy Constanzo a new condominium.
He jumps right in. He's like, fuck it, we're busting these. We're doing it old school.
Constanzo then got into smuggling and made $100,000 on a shipment of coke bound for Miami. But all the while, Constanzo hadn't forgotten about the magic that had bound his followers so close. And he certainly hadn't forgotten about Guillermo Calzada. Eventually, Constanzo decided that Calzada had to suffer for refusing his offer. So he asked his followers Martin and Omar if they were interested in trying a new type of quote-unquote ritual.
Do I get to be on top then?
Nope. No, always on the bottom, Omar.
But first, Constanzo had to regain Calzada's trust. He returned to the drug kingpin and asked for forgiveness, claiming that his formerly brash and insulting behavior was the result of an evil spell cast by a rival wizard.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You can always say that every time you have a bad tweet. From now on, you should just say, like, some rival spell from an evil wizard. I don't know what the hell was going on. ...
Or was the shitload of cocaine I'm doing. Although he did not do cocaine, did he? No, he did not touch his supply.
No.
Sober as a cat.
Okay.
But Constanzo said that he could make all of this right with one simple ritual. He told Guillermo Calzada that if Calzada was amenable, Adolfo would perform a cleansing ceremony for every high-ranking member of the Calzada family, free of charge.
That's huge.
That's pretty big, yeah.
It's like a $20,000 value there.
Yeah,
That's
dude, normally
a lot
you-
of fake stuff.
Honestly, it's so much fake stuff. You have to get 10 holes in your punch card normally to get that.
Wow.
It takes a long time.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Calzada, he agreed. He gathered his wife, his mother, his maid, his bodyguard, his business partner, and his secretary in his home at Constanzo's direction. And Constanzo showed up with a crate of eggs and a couple of chickens.
I mean, this is wild, dude.
Yeah. He arranged the Calzadas in a circle and lit candles, then began chanting. He appealed to the Orishas for strength. He called for Siete Rayos to strike down his enemies. And just as he reached the climax, the real ritual began.
They said the first thing you notice is that as he span in a circle, right? So as he spun in a circle, like contorting and shit, and he was screaming about his enemies, and every single time he said enemies, he'd point at them. Like, he'd point at the people in the circle. And they said for a second, everyone's just been like, why are you pointing at me? I'm not your enemy. You know, like, and apparently they were the main show.
Wow, it's never good if someone shows up with a bunch of eggs and chickens. Be very, very nervous.
Constanzo raised the machete in the air, and at that moment, Martin and Omar burst into the room with submachine guns and erased the entire Calzada crime family in a matter of seconds.
Damn! And not one egg was broken.
They got fucked. No, they ended up getting all smishity smash, but that was a part of the ritual because the ritual just began. Because some of them weren't killed immediately. Some of them were saved. He shot the bodyguard, but they saved Mr. Calzada. Was brought to him immediately. Meanwhile, they're all throwing up and shit. All the other people doing the ritual because they haven't killed anybody yet. So this is their first one, and they just jump right in with the spraying everybody with fucking machine guns like it's a fucking Dick Tracy scene.
Damn.
Now, one thing Constanzo's cult excelled at was crime scene cleanup. And when the cops investigated the sudden disappearance of the Calzadas, they couldn't find any real evidence that a mass murder had taken place. Although they really can't have looked that hard.
Yeah, I mean, what is the other option? An entire family just disappeared.
Well, they have the same rationale as always. When they look at these bunch of drug dealers all dead, they're like, something happened.
Something definitely happened.
Because they're used to shit happening, and most of the time, it's stuff that they also aren't supposed to see or like know about, or they do know, or they like knew about it like way months beforehand, and they actually are. It's weird to be surprised. So I think at some point they're like, yeah. I mean, this happens. This is how they talk.
Yeah, it definitely does happen.
But about a week later, the bodies began washing up on the riverbanks of the Rio Zumpango north of the city. The first bodies to appear were the bodyguard and the secretary, and the cultists had terribly mutilated both of them. They'd cut off the bodyguard's toes, ears, and fingers, and had shoved rolled $20 bills into the empty sockets on his hands. They'd also shot him, bludgeoned him, and castrated him. As far as the secretary went, her neck was cut so deep she was almost decapitated, and the heart had been removed from both of their bodies. Then, the next week, the other 5 bodies showed up as well.
This is where they say there might have been some evidence of the fact that they had been held for a little bit, and that they killed a couple of people up top, and then everybody else they kind of worked on.
Well, if you're a cop, all you got to do is go around the town and have people turn out their pockets and see if there's any toes in there. I mean, we're looking for someone with 10 toes in their
The
pockets.
truth, honestly, is you got to check the shoes.
You got to just find the toes. You find the toes, you found the killer.
Those aren't toes. Those are small fingers.
We don't need Italian cops around here.
Fingers, toes, hearts, and sexual organs were missing on all the bodies, including those of Guillermo Calzada. Throats were slashed, chests were hacked open, the spinal column had been removed from one of the bodies, and the brains had been removed in 2 more.
They are having a lot of fun that day.
And according to Constanzo's followers, these body parts had all been removed in the service of magical ritual, making the Calzada crime family the first humans to be fed to Adolfo's increasingly bloodthirsty Nganga.
No.
But the Nganga don't want that. The Nganga in the Nkisi inside of it is just a lonely spirit looking for communion. It's really excited to have someone to communicate with. And a lot of times if you do some form of human sacrifice to the Nganga, it can say no. It gets
What do you mean it can say no?
Apparently it goes silent. I don't know what they mean when they say it says yes or no.
So we don't like the brains.
We know it don't like the brains. It gets mad about the brains. It's too caliente. But think about this. You went from just running a fortune teller business. Now you got a little bit of drug dealer, and then it was like 2 weeks later,
Right.
you are mutilating and sacrificing 7 people? It's a big jump.
At this point, it is him, Martine, and Omar. It's him and his 2 right-hand guys. You know, essentially his boyfriends at this point, because they've got a throuple thing going on.
Oh, very Joe Exotic. Interesting.
Now, during the subsequent investigation into the Calzada murders, Constanzo's name never even came up, and he took this as a sign that he could choose a new, more violent path on the way to what he believed to be true power. And so, about a month after Constanzo allegedly fed the Calzada family to his Nganga, he got a line on an even bigger cartel fish through Salvador Vidal, old Three-Face, because Three-Face was now working full-time in Matamoros. Now, Constanzo knew, since Matamoros was a border town that swelled every year with spring breakers, it was ripe for opportunity. So he directed Three-Face to find him a crime family he could control.
Man, where's the real movie on this? I want to see this movie.
Before long, Salvador had the Hernandez family. But the problem with the Hernandez family was that Constanzo thought they were too powerful to take head on if Constanzo eventually wanted to gain control. Because that was the whole plan. The plan is find a drug cartel family, find someone who already has the infrastructure worked out, and then Constanzo would little by little take control, and then he would have essentially a private army.
It's a fucking hostile takeover. Yeah. He wanted to go, and because it's interesting, because that's where, I don't know if I'd ever call him smart, but I definitely call him brutally cunning. And what he did know is that you need all the trappings in there. Because you know how hard it is to get the cocaine guy?
Right.
It's got to be difficult to call. You can't just cold call Colombia.
No, you gotta catch him.
Well, since the Hernandez family was too powerful to just show up and say hey to, Constanzo needed an introduction of some point, some leverage, someone who would vouch for Constanzo's powers, that, you know, a person that the Hernandez family could trust. And he also needed someone that could help in Constanzo's grab for power. That woman was Sarah Aldretti. In time, Sarah Aldretti will become one of Adolfo Constanzo's closest confidants, his madrina. But in 1987, all Constanzo cared about was the fact that she had, in the past, dated Elio Hernandez, now the head of the Hernandez crime family.
Oh man, 1987. So many shoulder pads we're not talking about in this story.
Filled with cocaine.
Yeah.
As far as how they met went, Sarah was driving with her sister in her dad's Impala in late July of 1987.
Cool.
Suddenly, a Crown Vic passed their car, made a U-turn in the middle of the street, and began driving towards her head-on in the middle of rush hour traffic.
Oh wow, is it going to be a collision with love?
Well, fucking torture murder, if you call it love.
Sarah slammed on the brakes, and when the Crown Vic stopped as well, Adolfo Constanzo, handsome, dashing, and dressed in an immaculately clean white suit, stepped out.
It's the big heavy chains, too. He loved the big gold chains, the big fur coats, and at that point, he just he cut a visage. That was very, very interesting because he was also very tall. But
he is one hot dog away from looking homeless.
That's the problem.
That's the thing with the white suit. You get one ketchup stain on that, you are done.
Sarah's 6'1". She was a volleyball champion. She was very beautiful, very just stuck out in her crowd. And so when he saw her, like they kind of couldn't handle each other because also you're in the middle of traffic. So there was like building up a huge line of people honking.
Get out of the way!
But he just kind of, she said, the words that she used was he enfolded out of the car like a cougar. And he came out.
I don't.
And he kind of positioned himself on the hood with his like hand on like the heel of his, like with his head on his hands, just going like, I have to be with you.
Get out of the way!
Have to be with me. They're yelling, but guess what, man? This is how it is. Because Sarah she was like, no, I don't. I don't have to be with you.
Oh my
and he's just
God.
like, yes, you do. You have to be with me. And then eventually someone in the traffic was like, get in his car already.
Yeah,
and she
absolutely.
just was just like, okay.
Somebody's driving a mongoose. Honk, honk.
Yeah, and within an hour, she was his. Like, he had completely and totally entranced her. And over the next 2 weeks, she spent every day with Adolfo, relentlessly pursuing her new infatuation with love letters, despite the fact that Constanzo very clearly told her, I'm in a throuple with Martine and Omar. Not interested. But that just made her want him more.
It's very interesting
Very
because
Jodi Arias-esque
he
almost.
tried to lay the game on her, saying like, we have to be together. We're going to be together spiritually and physically. And he's like, your boyfriend is going to break up with you. And she's like, what are you talking about? I have a boyfriend. And he would never break up with me. He loves me. And then she gets a call from her boyfriend saying, I got to break up with you. Turns out he's fucking sending goons. All this shit's fucking it's how you get a girlfriend. But he had to lay on this whole thing being like, this is the thing. I'm kind of bisexual. And
I don't think you kill the other relationship that the person has. You don't kill someone's boyfriend to get a girlfriend.
They didn't kill him. They just said, like, hey, it'd be a good idea if you left Sarah.
Yeah, because the fucking narco-satanistas
Okay.
have shown up. And that's when you go, respectfully, I bow out.
Okay.
Now, first, Constanzo told Sarah that he was a lawyer named Alejandro on a vacation to Mexico City.
Every day.
Then he told her he was an undercover cop investigating her boyfriend. And that he actually let her believe for months. Huh. But eventually, he started layering in magic.
I love this story.
When he and Sarah started jogging together every morning.
I want to start breaking because this is how it starts, right? Because Adolfo Constanzo is not a sporty guy in any way, shape, or form. I think you can imagine it at this point.
He seems kind of sporty, tall, thin.
He is a very fabulous, insane person, right? He does not exercise. So
He's got Keith Raniere body.
Yes.
Oh,
a thinker's
not
body.
good. Not good.
He is a magical practitioner. He is not a basketball player. Yeah. And so at some point she was like, well, if you want to hang out with me, because she was trying to play it like kind of like, let's see how this goes. And she was like, well, I go jogging in the morning, so you would have to do that. And he's like, that's funny because all I do is jog in the morning. And she was like, okay. So normally he shows up because he has his fucking big white fur coat, big heavy chains, white tailored suit, all this kind of shit. But then when they show up to jog, she's in her gear and he shows up in all white gear, right? White shirt, white little short shorts, brand new white trainers, but he's still wearing the huge chains. And they just start jogging together.
Gotta look good. It'll hurt.
But once they started jogging, he never broke a sweat, never got tired, no matter how far they ran. She actually gave up first.
Wow.
And when she asked him how this was possible, he said, quote,
I never get tired. It's because of my religion. Is that fucking cool? But I feel
He's a dreamboat.
Have you ever tried to work out with someone you have a crush on? Like the idea of do anything physical? Because it is fun to try to do something physical. And then the key is you have to take one big breath in at the very end to appear as if you're not tired. You go, yeah, today was actually a really good day. Like you just hold in the breath for a long time.
Working out is something you got to do alone.
Some people like working in couples. I don't.
I don't know.
No, don't like it. Well, after that, Adolfo began introducing soothsaying through tarot cards while making sure to splash a little chicken blood on top for appearances. Had to make it a little bit special. And the readings Constanzo was doing were blowing Sarah's fucking mind. In the most consequential reading, he told her 3 things. She would receive money for school from a surprising source. An old friend she hadn't seen in years would give her a call. And a few weeks after that call, an ex-boyfriend would call with a problem.
Now, this is classic fortune teller scam. Because this stuff is like, this is pretty open-ended. And you can interpret this shit in many different ways.
Right.
And sure enough, within days, she got a letter from her college saying she'd qualified for a scholarship that she hadn't applied for. And a childhood sweetheart called to ask if they could come visit Sarah in Matamoros. 2 out of 3.
Not bad.
And for Sarah, these 2 predictions coming true were enough to make her a believer in Adolfo's powers, even though she still thought at this time that he was an undercover cop.
It's weird because cops were, so often on the dime you kind of assume that he's also kind of half crooked too.
Right.
But when Sarah called Constanzo to tell him that his prognostications were coming correct, he said, quote,
"The truth is, Sarah, I am a witch."
Whoa! That's a hell of a reveal.
But then the whole time being like, so is that like a job? That would be my response.
Yeah, what does it all mean?
You make money doing that, or?
Seems like he's doing quite well with his white jogging suit.
But as it turned out, Adolfo had just done his homework. Seeing that Sarah could be a connection to the Hernandez drug family, Constanzo had Three-Face investigate and research Sarah. And from there, it was a cakewalk to predict all of her patterns.
Oh my God, he trusted on Pumpkinhead once again, and Pumpkinhead came through.
It's really true. But this is where, more than any other of our magical con men that we've covered in the past, he really is heavy on the con. And he understands that in order to get somebody's trust, you got to be right on the money at the very top. I think in a way, I call him, it's smart. It's planning.
In a way, it's smart, yeah.
You have to premeditate these things in order to get a lock. And he needed a madrina.
It sounds like so much more work than going to college, getting a degree in business, working the markets.
I never understand con people because that's just the truth. It's just so much easier to become an accountant.
Yeah.
But there was one more prediction that needed to come true. Eventually, Adolfo revealed to Sarah that the ex-boyfriend that was going to call her was Elio Hernandez. And when he called with this problem, she should tell him that her friend Adolfo would be more than happy to help. In the meantime, Sarah had gone all in with Constanzo. She soon had her own altar at home and was doing rituals with the cult. President of the soccer booster club at her college by day, and worshiper of Kadi and Pimbe by night.
Can you not trust anyone?
This is a real version of like, again, this is a movie. Think about this shit. You are just a normal, very beautiful college girl doing your everyday shit. Because they also thought
She's
that
a
at this
soccer
point,
booster.
But she was highly normal and she was doing really well in school. But then you find out she was doing Palo Mayombe rituals at night to get good grades, which again is harder than doing homework.
Yeah.
They would fucking mutilate animals all night and then go back, and you would eventually see her with the beads. She was wearing the Palo Mayombe beads, and then sometimes they would be normal, and sometimes they'd be all smeared with they were like, that must be paint. Which I think is, we all know maybe the difference between blood and paint, and I think you just have to be like, yeah, it's paint, right?
It's like paint if you painted with blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people did start to notice weird things about Sarah. Like, she would tell little lies that didn't seem to really mean anything. Like, she would show up wearing a neck brace and say, I crashed my car yesterday. And then she'd show up the next day with no neck brace and her car would be fine, not a scratch on it, and say, oh, the accident wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
She's like Andy Kaufman.
Yes. But,
performance artist, perhaps.
well, that was the problem, is that she was hurting herself doing the twitching and cavorting of the Palo Mayombe rituals. Like, she was literally getting physical injuries from pretending to be possessed.
Okay.
And before she knew it, Sarah could chop the head off a chicken in one smooth stroke. And once the indoctrination was complete, Adolfo placed her in one of the highest ranking positions one could have in a death cult. Sarah became the honeypot.
Ooh, did you say she could behead a chicken with one stroke? I just found my new wife.
Yeah, he beheaded my
Wow.
I did like how when Marcus said honeypot, he did the little come hither motion, which is what they teach of what you're supposed to do when you
I don't want to
finger a
hear it.
woman.
I don't want to hear about it.
You literally did the...
Also, where did you get taught that?
It's look it up. Look at Cosmo, how to finger a woman. They get
Can they make the sounds?
Yeah, you go. Scrape, 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 scrape.
Does Eek the cat, is he in the cartoon telling you how to do it?
Cut your fingernails, fellas. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Good grooming.
Meanwhile, Adolfo was at the very least pretending to be excited about Sarah romantically. He even called his mother to tell her about the new girl, but did it in a way that no one could find even remotely romantic. See, even after Adolfo became El Padrino, leader of a drug-dealing murder cult, he still talked to his mother in a childlike baby voice. And calling his mom about Sarah, he said, quote,
Mommy, I met a girl who was born the same day as you. We're in love, Mommy.
Aren't you supposed to be a killer or something? Why are you like
I'm
that?
Mommy's favorite killer. Mommy's
Why are
biggest,
you
baddest
like
killer.
this?
Oh, Mommy, I get so big when I make the murder happen.
God. All right.
But it's weird because that's what he the main thing that Sarah noticed is that he never asked about her and he never gave a fuck. He was what they always talk about when you read about magical studies. You get like a smugness, an aloofness where you believe that you have powers beyond human comprehension, so you are separate from humankind. So he didn't care about Sarah's bullshit in any way, shape, or form. But at some point, he asked her what her birthday was. And when she said, it's this day, he's like, that's my mommy's birthday. And he went and called and immediately being like, this is incredible. It's magic. You guys get to all love me the same way because you're all the same birthdays.
He's like Roy Cohn if he was a drug dealer, in that he loved his mom very much and he would call her and talk to her even as he was getting plugged by many, many men.
Cool.
Yeah, Roy Cohn. Yeah.
So, by October of 1987, 3 months after first meeting each other, Sarah was fully under Constanzo's control. He told her who to talk to, what she could do, and where she could go. And it wasn't long before she finally realized that maybe Constanzo wasn't actually a cop.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds very controlling. And that can't be fun. Unless, of course, you have a lot of fun and you like fart, like make it fun, and then you make people have a good time now.
Yeah. Yes, if he was the Toys R Us version of Apollo Mayombe, if he could make people just fart on command, that would be the best thing on the face of the planet. He'd be president.
Yeah.
Although I somewhat foolishly assumed that Adolfo was bisexual, I can now say that he was in fact gay. And this is evidenced by his behavior towards Sarah. It was said that when he kissed her, it was in a quote-unquote brotherly manner, and the intercourse was both infrequent and brief.
I just have never kissed Jackie in a brotherly manner.
You may have been a sketch or two.
No, never once, and lips never touch as brother and
Angelina
sister.
Jolie and her brother, they used to have sex with each other, didn't they? On the
Look
red
how
carpet
hot they
thing?
are.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
I think that's a rumor. I don't know if we should
They
be
did kiss each
substantiating
other.
that.
No, they did not have sex with each other, but they did get very romantic on the red carpet. I mean, that's just, there's footage.
And there's
Yeah,
that
there's
family
footage, yeah.
photo of them of where she's wearing that like see-through white like A-top, I guess that's what we have to call it now, where you could just see her big pokey nipples, and she's like, her brother's just like smashed up next to him, and I don't even like touching Jackie's arms.
No, and then John Voight is just like talking about how George W. Bush isn't a war criminal.
I don't know what he's, but he apparently stinks.
John Voight?
Yep.
Really?
Physically smelly.
Physically smell like what?
I
Like
could
a
see
kind
it.
of, like a diaper. I could see him smell like a diaper.
Like a diaper. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Big old voidy diaper.
But to Adolfo, Sarah was a means to an end, and it wasn't long before Elio Hernandez, the entire motivation behind her recruitment, reached out to his ex-girlfriend.
All right.
Now, the Hernandez family had been in the drug trade for about a decade at this point, and they'd gotten into the business through almost pure happenstance. In the late 70s, a marijuana trafficker named Juan Abrego somehow managed to get a whole truckload of weed stuck in the mud near the Hernandez farm. And Saul Hernandez, Elio's older brother, pulled the weed truck out of the mud with his tractor.
This is fun.
That's a scary day for a fucking drug dealer.
Yes.
The truck driver just be like, they're never going to believe I got it stuck in the mud. They're going to kill me. My head's already off my body.
You just call in AAA and just being like, it's oregano.
It's
I'm an
oregano.
oregano salesman.
So you're not going to believe this, boss. So about the weed, you know, it was raining yesterday. It's got all muddy in the street.
I do not believe in mud.
God damn it. Oh, I'm so dead.
Well, to return the favor, Juan Abrego gave Saul a low-level position in his cartel as a delivery grunt. But after an assassination attempt, Saul was promoted to bodyguard. And before long, the Hernandez family was the go-to crew for the dirtiest and riskiest jobs.
So he almost got killed and they gave him a more dangerous job?
Well, he volunteered for bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah,
He said, I can
volunteered.
do it better than that guy did.
Yeah.
If I was there, the assassination attempt wouldn't have even happened.
Okay.
Isn't
All
this how
right.
like Herman Cain got to the top of Godfather Pizza?
Oh, maybe.
Didn't he like find a truck that was filled with pizza stuck in the mud and he'll pull it out?
Oh, R.I.P.
However, Saul Hernandez was gunned down in January of 1987, and it was for this very reason that Elio had called Sarah. As it turned out, Saul had been the brains of the whole operation, and Elio was having a bit of a hard time filling his brother's shoes. And really, we don't know for sure, but it could be that Adolfo Constanzo orchestrated Saul's death behind the scenes while also manipulating Sarah, truly playing chess with the lives of others.
Honestly, if he did do that, he is a wizard.
I mean,
he really is.
He was an absolute psychopath, absolutely. But psychopaths tend to do well in the drug business. And Adolfo Constanzo was no matter what else he was a genius when it came to the cartel game, at least until he started believing in his own bullshit.
You know what he kind of reminds me of is a low-level cartel Dick Cheney, where he's very manipulative and he understands about pulling the strings of human beings very well. There was something about, I think, the years of fortune telling must have taught him a lot about human nature and what people want, because they come to you and all you have to do is guess. When you're a fortune teller, you're obviously in search of something or missing something or needing something. And then as soon as you unlock it, people just fucking spill their guts. You get to learn the inner workings of all sorts of these.
I remember that when Borat tricked Adolfo Constanzo into talking to him and signing his milk
He was
jug.
putting the microphone back in his pants.
He was putting the microphone back in his pants. Yes, indeed.
Thus, when Elio called Sarah, talking about all the problems he was having trying to run a small drug cartel,
Everyone is dying around me.
Think about how hard that is to get promoted to boss when the boss gets fucking murdered.
I don't know if I want to be the boss.
Travis, if it happens to us, you have to step up to the mic. This is how this goes,
He already does
unfortunately.
do the mic.
well, when he called with those problems, Sarah was locked and loaded with tales of Adolfo Constanzo's magical prowess. And within a month, Elio agreed to give magic a chance.
Oh, no.
But if Sarah was to control Elio, Constanzo needed to have complete control over Sarah. So, using yet another ritual, Constanzo fed Sarah's soul to Kadium Pimbe and made Sarah Aldretti his madrina and the caretaker of the cult's Nganga.
That's a lot. That's a big old mean baby.
That's a lot, yeah.
And here's kind of how the ritual went. Okay. After spraying her with a cheap Mexican liquor known to cause brain damage and covering her in both chicken and goat's blood, which was an experience Sarah described as vaguely erotic, Constanzo brought out the knife.
Wow, he just guessed correctly, though, with her. Sarah was down for the fucking clown, and a while...
He then carved a series of X's and crosses on her shoulder and declared that her soul was dead, that she was one of them, and that her deity from that point forward would be Ocean, master of money, love, and sex.
Ooh, with all those X's and Y's on her back, I would have declared her a math problem. You think about algebra.
It's simple. Sometimes stories are simple, and jokes can also be simple.
Indeed.
Simple as the artist
that was
create
technically
them.
a math joke.
I don't know what it was.
But Sarah didn't have sex with Elio, who obviously still had feelings for her. Instead, she turned on the flirt button, and eventually she convinced Elio to join the cult without having sex with him once.
Oh!
And after Elio's ceremony, he and Adolfo went to Veeps and had hamburgers while discussing the future of the Hernandez drug business.
Did you read that Veeps was actually a second place burger for him, and his preferred burger was Whataburger?
Really?
He
All of this
piles and piles of Whataburger, yeah.
The wizard is eating the hamburgers? I can't
yes.
trust a wizard eating a hamburger from a Whataburger or from Veeps.
He loved
They had
Whataburger.
Whataburger in Mexico? I thought Whataburger's only in Texas.
He went up to Texas.
You go to Brownsville. Okay, so he went to Brownsville for a Whataburger.
We're not talking about Whataburger.
We are, though.
Whataburger's pretty good. I miss Whataburger.
I like
just
Whataburger.
don't trust a wizard who eats it. That's all I'm saying.
All I know is you keep calling yourself a wizard, and all you do is drink Bud Light and eat pretzels alone in your house.
I didn't call myself a wizard.
Well, during this conversation at Veeps, Constanzo, with the same confidence as before, demanded 50% of the business just as he had with the Calzadas. And Elio, maybe influenced by the high of ritual magic, maybe just desperate for help, readily agreed.
Wow.
Said, hell yeah, come on in.
I think that he was deeply impressed by the ritual, because you remember when you go into the rituals, you go into his room of the dead, You don't see anything. You get the blindfold on like we talked before. So you don't know what's happening, but it's very impressive. And you get cut and spit on a lot. Yeah. So at some point, I think you're just like, oh, this must be serious.
It better be. Otherwise, I'm a total idiot.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like I'm a drug dealer. And this man is cutting and spitting on me. I should be killing this man.
I hate that. Yeah, I usually hate that.
I'm giving this man money.
Wow.
Well, in the end, the deal was this. Constanzo would cast the spells that would protect the business while taking half of the profits, and Elio would do the dirty work and take the other half while bringing more members into the cult.
So he doesn't do anything.
He does spells, man.
Yeah, man, it's about executive,
How did
man.
he make this happen?
He's a consultant.
He really is a consultant, and really that's what you're paying for. It's not just that you're paying for what you're really paying for is his connections to fucking law enforcement and other drug cartels.
Great.
But you're calling it magic.
It is the confidence and the you just want to be able to stand on solid ground with your magical practitioner and make sure you got your contract filled out and you got the money going, because the Nganga's it's got to go in human blood, and human blood costs money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to pay for itself.
Now, Elio held up his end of the bargain at an impressive pace, and pretty soon, Adolfo's followers changed from the real estate agents, drag queens, and models of Mexico City to the outsiders, drug runners, and murderers of Matamoros. The first new member was Alvaro Valdez, a.k.a. El Doobie.
Yeah, fucking El Doobie, dude.
El Doobie, Spanish for the Doobie.
El Doobie was a preternaturally violent individual, busted at the age of 10 for stealing his father's gun and shooting the neighbors from a tree.
He's a real go-getter.
Definitely.
He joined the cult simply for the blood. He knew it was going to be violent, and he wanted to take part in the violence. After that was Elio's flamboyant cousin, Sergio Salinas, a.k.a. El Mariposa, the butterfly.
This all, honestly, it sounds like villains in a fucking comic book.
Yeah, after that you had Malio Torres, El Gato, so named for being more clever than the rest of the chumps in the cult.
Indeed.
Apparently, he came from the Jellicle County of Mexico. I don't know if you ever
Are you
heard
talking
of
about
it.
Jellicle Cats?
Jellicle,
Oh my God, I'm so mad at you. You're singing Jellicle Cats somehow?
Cats, and you could just see him next to Rebel Wilson.
Thug who is killing a bunch of families, and you're singing Jellicle Cats.
Jellicle Cats can't be told what to do. Jellicle Cats aren't
They can be
satisfied with the
drowned in a
box.
small bucket.
Yeah, Jellicle Cats also love fucking torture and murder.
Apparently, and bowls of cum, as we learned from Sir Ian McKellen. Meow. He was the only one who meowed. I was just thinking about that. Weird.
And each and every one of these new recruits were given witchcraft lessons and were sworn to vows of loyalty, all while Constanzo continued rituals for the Hernandez family that he assured everyone would bring them a large shipment of drugs that would turn everything around. And sure enough, once the entire Hernandez crew agreed to do the rituals and join the cult, corrupt federales seized a shipment of weed from a rival cartel and sold it at a discount to the Hernandez crew, which turned around the entire operation.
And then it just comes down to, did the rituals work, or is corruption the most fucking brutal cancer to go through the feds and involving the drug cartel? Like, this is insane.
Well, maybe there was more mud. Was it stuck in the mud again?
Nope.
Nope, they just got it.
They just got
it.
Good for them. It's amazing this is all weed, too. For some reason, I'm thinking it has to be some really hardcore, great meth or some great heroin or cocaine. It's all just nug.
And well, they start with Nug.
Yeah.
So you got to start. You always got to start with Nug.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can leapfrog over to meth, but yeah, you can't just start with cocaine.
No.
I guess not.
Yeah.
But once the crew was entirely under a spell, Constanzo changed the game. Now that he had a fair amount of muscle and belief in reserve, Constanzo took things to the next level and introduced murder to the cult at large.
Like he opened up the door and he's like, "This is my friend Murder."
In May of 1988, he and his crew hijacked a truck holding 300 kilos of weed, and Constanzo pulled his best Tex Watson on the driver.
Uh-oh.
When the terrified man asked who Constanzo was, he replied, quote,
The David, come for your soul.
God damn it, I was worried about that. I was really hoping you would just be like, name's Dave, I work over here at the Arby's, gonna give you a free roast beef.
See, the cult had gotten the tip about the weed truck from new member Aurelio Chavez. Chavez was a foreman on a ranch called Santa Elena, and the weed had been farmed by some small-time traffickers on the next plot of land over. And eventually, Rancho Santa Elena would be where the cult would commit its most heinous acts. But at the time, it was just a good place to stage a hijacking. But as it turned out, this hijacking was about much more than just weed. After Constanzo's people loaded up the drugs, Adolfo walked over to the two men they'd stolen it from who were tied up nearby. He looked at them and asked if they were good Christians, and they both answered that they were. And according to his cultists, Constanzo then turned to them and asked to confirm that he had in fact told them earlier that all Christians were animals.
And they're like, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, I remember that rant.
You can lie a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Just be like, I'm a Methodist. What are you? What do you want me to say?
And when they confirmed that statement, Constanzo, with a big smile, lifted the gun, shot both men in the head, and said, quote,
"We sacrifice animals."
Well, sir, did you write that down before you said it? Because that was really cinematic.
It's funny because when you speak like this, you know what you begin to sound like. It sounds like a bow wow, or it sounds like a cluck cluck. And do you know what makes those noises?
Well, an animal would.
And do you know what we do to animals?
You're going to say it again?
We sacrifice
animals. Yeah, we got it. Honestly, really great, though. Scary as shit. I will say this, boss, you are scary as shit.
Yeah, my writers are getting crazy.
Wow.
Now, even though his followers were already believers at this point, the cold-blooded murder of two men was just too fucking much for some of them to handle. They didn't expect this. All of them were shocked, and one of them even threw up on the spot.
I think it's El Gato. Because when it comes down to it, El Gato was holding that back anyway. He's like he shot out a hairball.
But even though the murders were indeed disturbing,
I just keep seeing fucking him doing this, panning to all the grisly cartel cult members, and the two guys shivering in the dirt and shit, tied behind it. And fucking Constanzo's got the gun up against their heads, and it's just the one guy in a cat costume, just in the back.
Jellicle cat. Oh, Jellicle cat.
But even though the murders were indeed disturbing, it wasn't enough for any of them to leave, and the cultists followed orders to bury both bodies.
I mean, they had to be scared shitless, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. You were on a ride for a while and making some money, drug cartel money, and then all of a sudden, this shit starts just fucking happening.
We're on tour. We're driving through Texas. All of a sudden, Marcus pops two people. We have to bury the body.
We have a Spotify contract.
Okay. You've just done this.
They have to come out. He has to write the outlines. And if that's what it takes to get Marcus in the right headspace to write the outlines, then that's what we will do.
We'll bury the freaking body. I'll use my fucking bare hands to do it.
Kissel El Perro. You're now the dog.
I'm the dog.
You're a Benjamin El Perro. And I guess I'm... What's the Spanish for top?
You want to be the top?
Yeah, I spin.
War pig.
Oh, El Puerco.
Yeah, there you go. El Puerco.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I mean, we're gonna get busted though. You can't get away with murder anymore.
We'll call you La Chicharron. Pork rind.
Ooh, the pork.
That's me.
Honestly, that's horrifying.
Well, once the victims were dumped in a hole, Constanzo said that while these men were merely killed this time, the next murder would be for a ritual. And after that, every one of them would be protected forever.
And the response was, yay.
Right. Well, they're putting bodies in holes, and he's telling them on the spot, this is not the last time this is going to happen. We're going to kill someone else soon, and we're all going to do it together. And they all go, all right. And then just...
You got it, boss.
Honestly, you don't have much of a choice anymore.
Well, even though it was now officially a murder cult, Elio Hernandez kept bringing in more people. The next was little Serafin Hernandez, a.k.a. El Chaparro, which that's a nickname that basically translates to a description for a short, chubby man.
Oh, that's cute.
Little Serafin is...
That's a nice name for a girl to have.
It is cute. It is cute. But Little Serafin is... he gets in above his head.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
he
that.
does.
Oh, it's
Yes,
a
he
boy.
does.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's called Little Seraphine because his father was Big Seraphine. Yeah. It's like how my dad used to be Little Bill and his dad was Big Bill, and now Dad's Big Bill.
Yeah, because Big Bill did. He's dead. He died.
And my father. They called my father Trenta Henry. And they call me Venti Henry.
Really?
Starbucks.
Yes.
Well, pretty soon, Little Seraphine brought 2 more members, a cocaine addict doing it all for kicks named Valente Gomez and a gay student named David Valdez, a.k.a. El Coqueto, the flirt.
Why is that? And that's the guy that does the... Every single time they all get together as a group, because one guy's got to have that good Pearson evil.
And then you're like, yeah, I made the joke, but it wasn't that funny. You're like making fun of me now because you're laughing.
You got him, boys.
It wasn't that good. I just said I called them animals. But
Can I also be a cat? I know I'm a flirt, but I also like to shit in a box.
You can be a cat. You want to be a cat?
Yes.
You're a cat. Cats don't say no around here. You can sing.
Jellicle cats.
I hate you.
Jellicle cats. I like how we got Jellicle cats back in.
I'm so happy with it. All it took was another murder cult.
Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherry wood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planting essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, I know what you're thinking. I like to go banking, but I don't want to give to these big old banks all the time that cater to the 1%. Well, go ahead and get yourself hooked up with Chime. It's banking built for you, not just those rich jerks. And they got thousands of fee-free ATMs because why pay to get your own money? Chime is working for you, man. You get your Chime card, you're going to get travel perks, you're going to get into airport lounges, you're going to get those chicken thighs. You know, every time I go to an airport lounge, I get chicken thighs. And you know what I say whenever I see a plate of chicken thighs? Give me more. Chime's going to get you those chicken thighs in these lounges, all right? Sure, they could serve other types of meat, but why would you when chicken thighs are so delicious? Chime is not just smarter banking, it's the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Head to chime.com/left. That's chime.com/left. It only takes a few minutes to sign up. Chime is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services for Chime Card provided by Chime's bank partners. Optional products and services may have fees or charges. Stated cashback for Chime Prime only. No minimum balance required. Checking account ranking based on JD Power Survey published October 20th, 2025. For more information on travel perks, go to chime.com/disclosures.
It's obvious we love true crime, but it does make us feel a little paranoid about what's out there, as it should. And that's why it's so important to get a home security system that gives you peace of mind. With SimpliSafe, you can stop crimes before they even start using their AI-powered cameras to identify threats on your property and alert US-based live agents to take action, like arriving in a helicopter in the night, coming down from the helicopter, zipping down and breaking through the windows with their big axes, and going through the house, ripping through the walls, finding the criminals. It's easy to do. Simply Safe has been a game changer for us. And the best part, there's no long-term contract. We've used it since the very early days of Simply Safe here at LPN, and it keeps us safe, doesn't it? It keeps all of our thoughts inside the building. Then there's the ones we let out because they have to go out because that's a part of it. But Simply Safe keeps the other thoughts safe. And for that, we say thank you, Simply Safe. And we want you to experience the same peace of mind as we, which is why we've partnered with Simply Safe to offer an exclusive discount to all of our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now, even though the cult already had an Nganga that seemed to be working out pretty good, Adolfo knew that the key to controlling any cult is to keep up in the ante. So he told his followers that it was time for a new Nganga.
Ooh.
This time, however, they wouldn't simply use a body robbed from a grave.
No.
Instead, this Nganga would be constructed from the body and soul of a victim whose murder the cult themselves would be responsible for.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say they were going to steal the chocolate fountain from Golden Corral. Replace the chocolate with blood.
The great south of the border buffet raid.
Yes.
I miss those days of crime, simple crimes. But this is where I will say again that according to Palomayombe, this is like breaking one of the most like sacred cardinal rules of Palomayombe. You're not supposed to add any sort of chaos or pain into the construction of Nganga. You're supposed to be helping a wayward spirit. That's kind of how they view it. You basically give a spirit a way to be like give a contribution. To be jellical. So this is it's just bad business.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, after the cult missed an opportunity to use a rival drug dealer when El Doobie lost his cool and fatally shot the guy at a Brownsville cantina called Los Sombreros.
The Doobie, you're being very un-Doobie right now.
I tell you what, if it comes down to it, that's why we got to legalize this.
Absolutely.
After that, the cult decided to use a perfectly innocent person named Ramon Esquivel, a.k.a. La Claudia. La Claudia was an antique dealer, drag queen, and former lover of Jorge Montes, a.k.a. Dr. Hindu. And when the doctor and La Claudia fell out of favor, Constanzo, who'd never liked La Claudia, decided that she would be their first true sacrificial victim. Now, even though La Claudia and Dr. Hindu weren't together anymore, they were still roommates. So Constanzo, Dr. Hindu, Martin, Omar, and a new guy went to La Claudia's place to wait while Sarah prepared the ritual at Constanzo's condo.
Why do I see the new guy? You remember the guy that used to hold the umbrella for Puff Daddy?
Of course. He got very famous.
It's like that guy. Like he's this like, I'm the shoe guy.
Yeah.
I get everybody's shoes. What kind of shoes you need? It's going to be wet outside. Got galoshes.
How long do I have to be here before I'm the old guy, though?
when the new guy shows up.
When the new guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm the old new guy.
I'm a glove guy.
Okay.
Well, when La Claudia entered the apartment, the cultists tackled her, bound her wrists with duct tape, ripped her clothes off, and forced her into the bathtub where the cultists had already plugged the drain in order to collect the maximum amount of blood. They then began the process of giving La Claudia a cruel, excruciating death. Ooh. As cult members held her down, Constanzo cut off her fingers, toes, ears, and penis while she was still alive.
Woo!
Causing the maximum amount of pain to both give the ritual power and to satisfy his own sadistic desires.
We probably should have said gold star at some point. So it's just, now from now on, it's just so it already happened and it's going to continue to happen.
No, it's getting there for sure. Yeah. Wow.
He then began to skin her alive.
Whew.
But Constanzo finally ended La Claudia's misery with a slash to the throat. After she expired, cult members filled a jug with the blood pooling in the bathtub and took it away for the ritual to come. They then gathered up the fingers, toes, genitals, and shin bones before opening up La Claudia's skull to retrieve the ever-important brains.
That's the job of the new guy. It's not easy. It's horrible.
Oh, so this is why I was invited.
This is why you're there, yeah.
I guess that's why you asked me to bring my ice cream scoop.
Absolutely.
The remaining parts were shoved in garbage bags and buried. Omar and Dr. Hindu, they cleaned the apartment well enough where the investigation into LaClaudia's disappearance went cold almost immediately, and LaClaudia's body and supposedly her soul were used to create the cult's new evil Nganga.
Oh, my goodness.
But as we said last episode, the problem with using human blood to just even feed an Nganga, never mind make one, is that according to Constanzo's version of Palo Mayombe, they believe that it would never be satisfied with anything else. In other words, their belief not only allowed for more murder, Constanzo had actually set it up where more murder was essential if the cult wanted the magic to continue working the way they believed it had worked before.
It's like when you give your dogs begging strips and you know for a fact no treat is ever going to be as good.
It's a lot like that.
They need the bacon strips. They love bacon strips.
Because I remember that one time I didn't give Puffin a bacon strip, but he did say something about how he's like, I needed to sacrifice you. Like he was telling me some crazy.
I'm going to kill Ben when he sleeps. Don't tell him.
What?
I'm going to kill Ben when he sleeps. Don't tell him.
Puffin, no, Puffin, that's bad.
I've been sharpening my razors like in my nails.
Puffin, go get your father's credit cards. We need to rack up some bills first.
Oh, I can't wait to order all the new bacon strips.
He loves bacon strips.
We don't get paid by bacon strips.
So when it came time for another big ritual, nothing but another murder victim would do.
Oh, my.
This time, the need for human blood arose from what could be described as a bit of a blooper on Adolfo's part.
A blooper. A blooper leads to a blood sacrifice?
It's a bit of a blooper, yeah.
Well, Constanzo had attempted a double cross in a cocaine deal with some traffickers in Texas, where Constanzo had planned to sell the traffickers 75 kilos of cocaine for $1 million. But instead of giving them the drugs, Constanzo was planning to kill him at the handoff and take everything for himself.
Why wouldn't they assume that was going to happen? I mean, honestly,
that's what I would
always
It's a
assume.
risk. It's always a risk.
Yeah.
But when it came time to implement the plan, Constanzo's gang wasn't quick enough, and Elio's brother Ovidio was kidnapped in the fracas that followed. To pay for this failed ruse, the Texans were demanding their money back and the cocaine in exchange for Ovidio. Now, Constanzo refused to give back the money or the cocaine. Instead, he chose an alternate route and told his followers that Ovidio would be returned to them through dark magic. And all he needed was a sacrifice for the new Nganga.
Sure. Okay.
Now, the thing about the new Nganga that the cult created was that it was filled with the remains of a very recent murder victim. And as such, it wasn't a good idea to have it in, say, Adolfo's condo.
HOA.
Yeah.
It's so hard when you're dealing with all these condo rules.
Homeowners Association.
They get so upset because, it comes down to like, you have to keep your fucking
Smells
house
like
painted.
dead bodies in here.
Yeah, that's my religion.
Also, the grass is a little long.
Yeah, well, my fucking machete's real long.
Okay.
So, the cult set up their murder Nganga in a shed outside of Matamoros on Rancho Santa Elena, which was the ranch where cult member Aurelio Chavez, who tipped the cult off on the hijacking, was foreman. So, on the day of the ritual, Elio picked up the first person he found off the side of the road, a hitchhiker, and bound them with tape. He then brought the unfortunate soul to the ritual shed, where LaClaudia's rotting remains stewed in the cult's Nganga. Ugh. As before, Constanzo removed the hitchhiker's fingers, toes, and ears, but this time he did it while pleading to the gods for help in the freeing of Ovidio and the crushing of the cult's enemies. Constanzo then spat rum on both the victim and in the cauldron before beginning what can only be described as a ritual rape. Because according to what Adolfo told his followers, the mutilation and torture was essential because evil death breeds evil deeds. Once the rape was over, Constanzo ended the hitchhiker's life by pulling out a razor-sharp machete, and with a precision that can only come from thousands of ritual sacrifices, he chopped off the top of the hitchhiker's skull, exposing the brains.
Malcolm Gladwell.
Oh.
10,000 hours. I also, with this
I
whole
see what
ritual,
you're-
it took a lot of work.
You're a horrible person. But yes, I see what you're saying. Yes.
But I'm not going to, I don't like the term improvised for this, but he definitely was just making shit up as he was going in terms of these rituals. There is no manual, like from what I heard from the Tatas that emailed me, for this type of shit.
Yeah, they don't have a Bible. There's no Palo Mayombe Bible.
There are sources, but it's honestly, most of it is family styles that are handed down.
Yeah, one of the chapters is like drug deal gone bad.
Yeah.
Here's how to solve it. It's like it's not an IKEA set.
No, I wish it was. Honestly, that'd be really helpful. So this stuff was kind of like, at this point, you're a part of this gang, and you don't even know. You better hope this shit's working.
Well, they're trusting him. They're all trusting him that this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. And when he tells them, I have to do this, I have to do that, like all of this is essential to the ritual. If you want to see your brother alive ever again, we've got to do this, and we've got to do everything how I say it's done, because that's how it's done. But they just kind of go along with it.
Honestly, this is when in my brain I start thinking of all the bad memories I had with that person, and I'm thinking life ends, life comes and goes. And then you just kind of like slowly accept the fact that maybe they're dead.
Yeah, maybe this is over, yeah.
But it was at this point, post-murder, that Constanzo brought his followers into the mutilation process as part of the slow roll towards mass ritual murder that Constanzo had been ramping up to all along.
I think that you're correct, that this is totally part of the plan. And he knew, because this is how you get people sticky. Like, not
Make
physically
them complicit.
sticky. Makes them complicit. It makes them now you're a part of the crimes. So you can't pull yourself from me in any way, shape, or form.
It's the world's worst timeshare.
Yeah.
Now you have to do it.
He really is.
It's horrible.
If you ever hear the commercials, you have Sirius XM now for the guy who gets you. We all know the hell of being trapped inside the bowels of a timeshare. And sometimes it takes a proper guide, not unlike those that Charon on the river Styx, to go and lead those out of the hell and purgatory of a timeshare.
There are lawyers making a full-time living just on getting people out of timeshares.
Well, this is how Constanzo slow-walked these people into this. In the first murders, during the hijacking, the followers had just watched and dug the hole. Still complicit, but just a little bit. In the second one, they'd held the victim down while Constanzo had done the mutilation and murder. It's definitely accessory to murder, but they did not actually murder the person themselves. And now, Constanzo was handing them the knife and commanding them to mutilate the body. After Constanzo removed the hitchhiker's brain for later use, Elio stepped in and harvested the heart by cutting into the hitchhiker's chest. Once the heart was removed and thrown into the cauldron, Constanzo ordered the other followers to hack and cut away at the corpse to make more fodder for the inganga.
I've watched so many barbecue shows of the last couple of weeks that it's just like, I don't know why my brain is so curdled, because I feel like at some point...
I have a feeling I know why.
I just should be, like, upset.
It is
when
pretty
you hear
bad.
these details.
I
It's
actually
bad
want
details.
you to be upset. I am
upset.
Marcus and I both need you to be kind of upset when you hear this, because we are all in business together, and I need you, when you hear, then they hack the body to feed the cauldron.
I know.
I need you to not think of barbecue.
I don't know why it's there.
As an audience, the audience wants you to be better.
I see the racks
We have to end the show now. Now we have to end doing the podcast as a whole, because your brain, now we're at the point where you no longer care that people are getting hacked apart.
I'm so hungry.
Okay. That's the problem.
Well, as the cultists did what they were told, Constanzo said that hacking and slashing at the body would wash away their fear. And Elio later admitted that the more he cut and sawed at the body, the less human it looked. And the less human it looked, the better he felt. And the more power he felt coursing through his own body. Once the sacrificial murder victim was suitably ravaged, Constanzo ordered his followers to dig a hole and wrap a metal wire around the spine of their latest victim for future use in another ritual. The hitchhiker's remains were soon buried, but the wire would be left sticking out of the ground for easy removal of the spine later on.
Wow.
And all this sounds fucking insane.
Yeah.
But to the members of the cult, it was real, all of it. And the effects were felt almost immediately. The very next day, after the cult's worst murder yet, a video came home unharmed because his kidnappers had simply released him and gone home.
Well, you know when Texans decide to hang it up for the day? They just put their boots and get
That's
out
true.
of here.
We're done. When we decide something's done, we're fucking done.
They're done. Get out of here. Get out.
Now, this result, it could have had a number of origins, none of them magical. The most logical explanation was that the kidnappers just didn't have the stomach for cold-blooded murder. Just because they're fucking, weed smuggler, or just because, they're cocaine smugglers doesn't mean they're murderers. And they had no choice. Like, after their bluff was called, after Constanzo was like, I'm not giving you anything, they have to let him go.
They have to do the Zabrowski
they don't
technique.
have to.
The Zabrowski hostage technique. I want to teach this in class one day. If you want to make sure that the goal is to psychologically torture your kidnappers by loud singing. So you sit in that chair
So you're
all
gonna
day.
be fucking Michael Richards in UHF?
It's a grand old flag. It's a
you're the one who was kidnapped?
Peace, it will wave. I'm just saying, as a
What if
kidnappee.
they put a sock in your mouth?
And number
that's
2,
annoying.
you know what's actually really important to do? Shit yourself. Because the more you're smeared in your own shit and your own piss, the harder it's going to be moving you from apartment to apartment. All these
That's a
cartel guys.
punishment in itself.
These guys have good cars. They have nice interiors, a lot of leather. I can't be all smeared with fear-ridden shit because then it smells worse.
I'd be livid, yeah.
Yeah, or it could be that Constanzo, again, orchestrated the entire thing. This whole thing might have been a setup. But when it came to the cult, none of those explanations were options. To them, they'd been faced with a seemingly impossible problem, and that problem had been solved with actual blood magic, which only further solidified their belief. But just because a person was a member of the cult didn't mean they were safe from being fed to the Inganga.
Oh, damn it. I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
And if Constanzo wanted complete control, he had to make his followers fear each other, definitely, but him most of all.
I mean, why wouldn't you think that if all of these people, like we just put 7 people in the Inganga. There's now 8, 9 people in the Inganga. At this point,
Somewhere on there.
You're like, aren't we all just Inganga food?
Well, maybe not, though, because other people are in there. Maybe you feel safer if you're doing the killing. I don't know.
Oh, it's like a boa constrictor and it can only eat 6 months. Every 6 months?
Yes. I love those pictures of the boa constrictors. It's usually seen if it's longer than the body that it's laying next to, so it will consume it. You see those pictures?
I didn't. I haven't.
Oh.
Were you talking about those old Rotten.com pictures where they cut open the boa constrictor and there was a person
No, I'm
inside?
saying when boa constrictors, people take pictures of them and be like, he cuddles in the bed with me. He wants to see if he's longer than you. And then as soon as he's longer than you, he's going to eat you.
And that's how your wife will choose you eventually.
Maybe.
Well, Adolfo's next chosen victim was cult member Valente Gomez. Gomez was the cocaine addict who joined up through Little Seraphine because a murder cult sounded, at the time, like it'd be a real stone groove.
Yeah, it's a real Eddie Winter joint.
Yeah.
Now, Constanzo had a strict no-drugs policy in the cult, which made the murder of Valente an easy sell. And it became much easier after Gomez was discovered to have been getting high on the cult's own supply.
Whoa.
Think about how frustrating that is. You're a cokehead. You have
Yeah.
some of the best coke in Matamoros just like hanging around. You see
gotta
no
have a
one's
little
using
bit
it.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I gotta try this shit when it comes down to it. You'd even kind of pitch it at Adolfo and being like, this is quality control. How
gotta
will we
do it,
know
yeah.
what we selling if we don't know what it's like?
Well, the whole thing is we don't give a fuck, though. Yeah, so we're just going to kill you.
This is like Google.
Yeah.
So, Constanzo decided to truly test his followers' dedication by giving them a surprise command to kill one of their own in the middle of a ritual. Now, that night, as far as the cultists knew, the ritual was going to be a somewhat routine affair involving a chicken and a cat. We're going to kill the chicken, we're going to kill the cat, we're going to go home.
Yeah, it's a real Heathcliff bar mitzvah.
Sure, yes.
But after the animal blood was fed to the Inganga, Constanzo turned to his followers and told them that they had an enemy among them, one who had stolen from the cult, used their drugs, and laughed behind their backs.
No way he's talking about me,
It's
right?
not me, brother. Yeah.
Who, man? Who is it?
The one guy wearing,
I'll kill
like-
him right now. I'll kill him.
He's wearing matching, like, chessboard, like, colored shirt and pants, and he's wearing roller skates, just standing there being like, no, man, just went on a moonwalk, just having a good time. But you know what I was thinking about? I was talking to this guy the other day, and he told me he had a great singing voice.
Well, seemingly involuntarily, but probably subconsciously, the drug-addled Valente stepped back from the group, immediately singling himself out as the guilty party.
Oh, man. Yeah,
It's like when you ask the dog what it's doing and just do that weird, like...
The cultists all turned and stared as Constanzo laid out the charges, and they were all very quickly forgetting that this man just a few moments ago had been their friend. Finally, once Constanzo had finished his speech, he walked up to Gomez and said, quote,
It's you, Valente.
Man, your writer is getting real good.
Constanzo then pulled out a machete and with one blow shattered Valente's jaw with the flat of the blade. Valente then told his followers that it was time for them to directly participate in a murder, and a murder of one of their own at that. He said that Valente had to die because he had offended the gods, and if the others didn't participate, they would die as well.
Oh, man, Adolfo, man, it's fucking Wednesday, man. I got fucking shit to do tomorrow. It's must-see TV tomorrow, man. This is a hard day. And El Gato is just like, Rao.
Nothing makes a cat more curious than a new little cat toy.
Shut up, El Gato. I have to stop inviting you.
It's a quite annoying group.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, the first to step forward was El Doobie. Because El
I'll
Doobie...
fucking get in there, dude.
Very not Doobie. Very not Doobie, dude.
Just fucking call me El Not Doobie then.
Wow.
Well, El Doobie had already killed before. Remember, he'd killed that drug dealer in Los Sombreros. And he seemed to have been just fucking waiting for the moment when he could involve himself directly in a ritual murder.
I mean, honestly, weed and cocaine. If you love weed, you're much different than the person who loves coke.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see them. El Doobie's revenge. Yeah. I could see it.
Well, once El Doobie stepped forward, the rest followed. They broke Valente's ribs one by one. They stabbed him in the stomach and chest. They beat him to a bloody pulp with their bare hands. But it was Constanzo who struck the final blow. He picked up a hammer and brought it down hard on Valente's head, burying the tool in the former cultist's skull. He then pointed to the gore and told every follower present that this is what would happen to the disobedient children of Kadiampembe.
Just want to make sure it's mostly not doing the cocaine, right? Because I'm not going to do any of that.
I'm telling you the
make
fucking
sure
truth,
what
man.
the rules are.
That's why they call me El fucking Doobie, dude.
Yeah?
I'm a fucking downer kind of guy, man. I am just trying to watch my cartoons, friends.
Just let me know what the rules are. I will follow them, sir.
Rao, and all I need is a ball of yarn and a tiny little bowl of milk.
Wow, you did just kill a guy, but you are kind of cute there,
Yes.
Jellicle Cat. Yeah.
After that, the cult was more dedicated and felt more invincible than ever. Partly it was because they believed they'd purged a weak link, but mostly they had to be more dedicated after that, because otherwise they'd killed their friend for fucking nothing.
Oh my goodness.
After Valente, the cultists sacrificed 2 police officers, feeding them to the Nganga even though they'd both assisted in the ruse that had gotten a video kidnapped. But even though the cult was ramping up the murder rate, the magic never stopped.
The magic never stopped.
It's not like that, though. It seems like it's not like Hollywood.
At Rancho Santa Elena, the magic never stopped.
It sounds like Madame Tussauds, but it's really not. This is a murder cult.
After killing the 2 officers, Constanzo and Elio returned to the grave of the hitchhiker. Once there, Constanzo grabbed the wire they'd left sticking out of the ground, and he jerked it upward. On the other end was a vertebrae from the hitchhiker's body, which Constanzo handed to Elio and told him to clean. This, Constanzo said, would be a part of a necklace that would bring Elio luck as long as he wore it. Elio did what he was told and wore the bone of Constanzo's murder victim around his neck. After that, the cult would go into berserker mode as a group, marking a bloody month in which at least 7 people would die. But the last of those 7 would be an American. And it's because of that American that our series ends next week with Adolfo Constanzo Part 3.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
very cool.
Next week,
interesting story.
We are shifting. It goes full Robert Rodriguez next week. We are going to get
Planet
into
Terror.
Them coming for them, like Costanzo fucking running from the cops, more ritual cult murder, the cartels versus the police, fucking federales. It's fucking intense, dude.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening to our series on Adolfo Constanzo. I hope you enjoyed it or enjoying it as much as we are, because this is a fascinating cult and really different than most that we've ever seen.
Well, this is way more of you say cult, I say serial killer support group.
Isn't that nice?
It is very much like they are now feeding him. He is the El Padrino. He's the one that is like kind of all of these people exist kind of tertiary to him just so that he is a Padrino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like he needed a group.
El Doobie can't be the leader.
No, El Doobie, I mean, he's too fun. He can't have this.
fun,
He doesn't know how to delegate.
I mean, this is absolutely a cult. I mean, because but it is a cult that is led by a serial killer. I mean, he uses all the same manipulation techniques that other cult members use. I mean, he manipulates these people into doing shit that they don't want to do and shouldn't be doing, just like most cults do. It just so happens that this is one of the most violent cults to ever exist. At least in modern times.
And if you did do cocaine in the 80s near Texas, you probably snorted some of this coke. And let us know. SideStoriesLPOTL@gmail.com. How was it?
How was the cult?
How was it? All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. And
We got hey
doing good here.
now we're in this shit. We got lastpodcastmerch.com. You should check it out. There's bullshit on there.
There's more than actually no bullshit. There's shirts.
There's a lot of good merch. We got a lot of good merch
Considering how
out there.
much we
get some
talked about
bullshit in there.
bull semen on Roundtable of Gentlemen, people might legitimately go to our website thinking there is bullshit at it.
I think we should
If there is no actual bullshit, you can't sell it.
Why can't we get into
No one's
animal
buying.
farming?
No one's buying it. No one's buying
Oh,
it.
is the market's dropped out?
Yeah, market dropped out of bullshit.
I know fall's coming. We've got a really nice flannel for sale at lastpodcastmerch.com. Actually, I will say it has become my new favorite shirt. I wear it all the time.
There it is. That's fun. We got our Twitch. So thanks everyone who gave for Haunter House. I know Halloween is over, but thank you all so much. We made, I think, like $12,000 for charity that month.
It was about
Last
15
month.
grand.
That's
No,
awesome.
the last take, because we doubled up. Because this year to charity, we've given over $35,000.
That's awesome. Well,
It's kind of insane.
thank you all so much.
I don't know what that's insane enough for me to laugh at.
Yeah, it's fine. I can't believe that we are. You can't believe that we're good people.
And Henry,
We're doing our best.
we didn't want to tell you this before the show, but we're giving your salary to charity as well from now on. So that's really exciting if you think about it. Like you seem sad. Well, you
It's
have to
very
be
brave
happy.
of us.
It's very brave of you, specifically Henry. All right, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for listening.
Check out all the other shows on LPN. We got ourselves a No Dogs in Space. We got ourselves a Page 7. We have
Indeed.
History, Abe Lincoln's Top Hat, Wizard and the Bruiser.
We got a lot to talk about.
And this week on No Dogs in Space, we have officially started our series on Joy Division, which is a lot funnier than you would expect.
Oh, no kidding. They were always so sad.
They are very sad and it's very tragic. Epilepsy.
Oh, my God.
That's what I remember. I just remember epilepsy.
very
just
dangerous.
yes, it is a sad band, but there's still 4 shithead kids from Manchester, so there's a lot of turd talk in there.
Oh, cool. All right. Check that out. No Dogs in Space, because they die. Just ask the Russians. Okay, everyone. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan.
Yogin.
Magustalations.
Hey guys, how about you hail me so I don't have to start doing all this human sacrifice?
El Doobie, you got it, my friend.
It'd be nice to just not have to start my own Nganga.
Do not.
My problem is that I just hate being stinky.
I know.
Yeah.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.
Hey, listeners. Marcus, Ed, and Henry here. It's a little bit of an announcement.
You loving all the episodes of Last Podcast on the Left lately? Well, listen, now you can get even more from us.
Squeeze it out of us. If you want to hear new episodes ad-free and unlock access to Last Podcast on the Left 7 days early, subscribe to SiriusXM Podcast Plus on Apple Podcasts or visit SiriusXM.com/Podcast Plus to start your free trial today. Do it.